Almost did the gun meme review claps. What is up, you sexy YouTube mother lovers, and welcome back to another episode of Cursed Gun Images. I know it's been a little while since I've gotten to do an upload, but I figured we'd kick things right back off with one of your favorites, as a treat. As it turns out, I rather enjoy tromping around through the mountains of Utah, killing some of God's most majestic creatures, and touching grass with my friends, more than I enjoy being in my dingy office, reviewing your cursed gun images. That apparently takes a good bit of time to run for Congress, but, you know, hey. But the important part is we're back and we're gonna kick things off with uppers. Woo! No, not like uppers like meth. Although meth may have been involved in the creation of several of these next ones. I mean uppers as in, you know, like AR uppers. There's some crazy things you can do with AR uppers. Obviously, you can swap barrel length and even caliber. Some people even do belt-fed conversions for AR uppers. I've even seen single-shot 50 cal uppers for AR lowers. Not sure I'd risk a Kentucky ballistics situation on that one, but they do make them. Now, while those might be unconventional, I don't think that they're necessarily cursed. But these next ones are. Now, this first one comes to us from an evidence locker, because of course it does. Feast your eyes on this Glock Upper. Just in case you ever wanted to turn your Glock into a pistol caliber carbine, but just thought that the micro Roni kits looked a little too practical. This tube comes complete with a ghetto AR stock adapter, I suppose, a riser for an undoubtedly Chinese optic, and a front-mounted flashlight that is tactically attached with electrical tape. But don't worry, his tactical rifle glizzy comes with the stick. I've been told that's what they're calling 33-round magazines now. Which brings a new meaning to Teddy Roosevelt's speak softly and carry a big stick. But maybe you're not a fan of Glocks. They're too new and useful. You're more of a 1911 guy. Well, not to fear. They made one of those too, for some fucking reason. Look, this looks like a bad Photoshop. I don't know, but it was found, it was confiscated by police, so clearly it has to work, right? I think my favorite part was the attention to detail to try to make this as AR looking as possible with that front sight there with the little quad rail up front, and then of course the AR or the M16 carry handle. Meanwhile, the stock is just bent sheet metal that is so cheap it actually looks cheaper than the Sten. Cheaper than the Sten is like being crazier than Britney Spears. It's impressive. But out of the uppers, that's not even the worst offender. Check out this bad boy. This is a German MG34. The predecessor to the legendary MG42. I also have one. But you might notice something's kind of odd about this MG34. Help, it's my son, he's very sick. Yeah, that's an AR-15 lower there. Some way, somehow, the urge to break into Nickelback there was extreme. Somehow they've converted it to be semi-auto and fired from an AR-15 lower. And I don't know if I hate that or not. I think I do. But at the same time, it's a civilian legal conversion for an MG34 that basically looks unmolested. I don't know, it's frustrating. I don't know how to feel. How should I feel? This one I'm gonna leave up to you guys. You tell me down in the comments, cursed or not. Or really more important, would you own it? I'm gonna go ahead and move on because the more I look at that, the more I don't think I hate it. Now to round out the uppers, we have this monstrosity. This is a 5.7 P90 mag conversion upper for an AR-15. The lower is an AR-15 bullpup conversion lower. Marrying the two of these together is... it's awful. And unfortunately, I have to claim a little responsibility for it. This is a gun that was put together by Matt Carricker from Demolition Ranch.
There it is, Brandon. I got this for you.
Thanks, I hate it. Obviously a good friend of mine and somebody who just wanted to fuck with me and Cody, I guess, by making this thing. Then toward the end, we figured out we could accidentally make it bump fire / full auto, so that was wicked.
Holy cow! Oh, hold on.
Excuse me, sir. The ATF has entered the chat.
So sure, you get a heinous gun that just really shouldn't exist, but you also accidentally get a machine gun. Groovy.
Groovy.
Speaking of groovy, you ever wanted to turn a rocket-propelled grenade into a lava lamp? Me either, but this guy did. So now we can use lava as a symbol of, you know, peace and love. And not spewing molten copper lava into an unsuspecting tanker crew. Now this next one comes all the way from Ukraine. The AK-74 is an amazing weapon system, but in their standard configuration, they're not exactly long-range implements of war. What would it look like if you changed that? Well, it wouldn't look like this. This is, that is a way, I guess you can do that. So those scope rings are usually supposed to go on either side of the little turrets there in the middle of the scope, but you know what, fuck it. I'm sure you could just put them right next to each other and not have any accuracy issues. I'm not really as bothered by that, I think, as much as I am the fact that this is mounted on one of the worst surfaces that you can mount a scope on an AK. The upper handguard, just a loose, like, polymer upper handguard that's really not meant for, like, scope mounting. Not great for holding 0. And that's true for, like, a typical red dot. Like, let's just say you're gonna put an EOTech there. Like, it's not excellent, especially with that particular handguard. With a big-ass scope improperly mounted and what I can only assume is the eye of fucking Sauron behind that, I don't see this thing holding 0 very well. You could probably lightly push down on that scope in the rear and shift point of impact by like 10 MOA. Adding on top of that a suppressor that's about as long as my monthly credit card statement. Put that all together and you've somehow managed to turn a very effective 7-pound short to medium range assault rifle into a basically useless 15-pound long range rifle. And before you think, Brandon, you know what, maybe they were just fucking around, maybe this was just a meme. I wish. War is hell. What isn't hell, though, especially in today's economy and, geopolitical state, is diversifying your financial portfolio a little. Right way to do that is in precious metals. And not just these. Also have a little stash of gold and silver. Thanks to folks like American Hartford Gold. In the days of unprecedented inflation and, of course, bricks going after the petrodollar, silver and gold are not a bad way to hedge your bets. American Hartford Gold is the biggest retailer of gold and silver here in the United States, delivering over $2 billion worth of it. They're a great sponsor of the channel. They help make videos like this happen, so if you want to check them out, go ahead and check out the links in the description or in the pinned comment, or you can text Brandon to 65532. We appreciate their support of the channel. Back to cursed gun images. So up next on our cursed gun images repository, cursed gun images repository, definitely not a suppository. Next up in our collection of cursed gun images, have you ever wanted to throw a grenade but also break your wrist at the same time? Well, now you can, thanks to the help of the 40mm Mini Thumper. It appears to be just a short-barreled M79 grenade launcher, aka the Thumper. If you've ever seen things like Apocalypse Now, you know why that thing fucks. I also have a 37mm version of one of these. You usually see it behind me on my wall, just because tube is cool. I also remembered I have a real 40mm grenade launcher I haven't done a video on quite yet. There's a lot of things I need to do videos on. It's gonna be nice having a range again. This next one I just had to include because it's a tweet from my buddy Donut Operator. The weapons recovered from Polo G's house. It never ceases to amaze me with these I'm assuming that's a rapper. Who the fuck is Polo G? I just fucking fat-fingered that and Googled Polio G. Polio G was FDR. Yeah, okay, so I was right. Rapper Polo G. These rappers just talk about how much they have money and bitches and everything they could ever want. They're, millionaires. Consistently have super shitty guns. Like that MP5 here that's a 22. You can tell from the magazine. Pretty sure that's just a shitty Turkish shotgun. Draco. Oh god. I just noticed this from looking at it, but that AK, the shorty AK pistol, the Draco, the pistol grip is unscrewed. It's like the pistol grip is just loosely flopping around on the bottom of the damn gun. My favorite part, and why this was worth including, is that AR-15 pistol on the bottom right. Notice anything weird? Maybe about, the sights? Homie included what is probably like, I think it's Magpul Embus sights, like the flip-ups. Put the front sight all the way at the front of the gun. Nice job. Put the rear sight right fucking behind the front sight. Look at how much rail space he had. Like, oh god. What the fuck is sight radius, I guess? So for those of you who don't know, on a firearm, the further you can put the front and rear sight apart, the better your accuracy is going to be. So yeah, homie had about 1.5 foot extra space there that he could have moved that rear sight back to, actually be useful. But something tells me that that pistol was never going to actually be legitimately aimed anyway. But speaking of loose AK pistol grips, if they happen to fall off, be careful where they go. Some bubba might find it and put it on his cheapy Rock Island revolver. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. Well, as far as revolvers go, at least he, was trying to keep it, I guess, somewhat classic and not try to do, a sketchy modernization job. I don't hate it. Although if you know how these 1858 Remingtons are reloaded, you know why that's going to be a bit of a problem. At least he's got a red dot mounted up there so he doesn't have to worry about sight radius. All in all, I respect the meme. But here's another one for you. 50 caliber signal gun. Do what? At least that's what this said when it was sent to me. So you see, you take a 50 caliber, in this case 12.7, because I believe it's Hungarian. Take one of these, stick it on there, and then just, that'd be a good way to signal to your buddies where you are, I guess. I would hope they'd at least use a blank. So, as you could probably imagine by now, that's not actually what this is. Turns out this is just the trigger pack of a single-shot 50 caliber, or 12.7. Single-shot 12.7 rifle. Thank fuck, said everyone in the Hungarian military. Otherwise, that would have just been fucking horrible weapon design. And if you have an interest in weapon design and would like to get your start into gunsmithing and weapons technology, you can check out SDI.edu. Links are in the description and in the pinned comment, as always. Now, this one is kind of funky. So this is like a hidden gun attached to a glove. Kind of like a weird ghetto punch gun of some sort. Definitely looks cursed, but believe it or not, this one is actually a real thing. So this was an OSS, I guess, just fist gun. I believe the actual technical designation for it was the Sedgley Mark II. You might remember it from the Hitler assassination scene in Inglourious Basterds. They used this to take out the bodyguards. God, I need to rewatch that movie. I don't know if this ever saw any actual use, but they did produce a couple hundred of them, I think. So, I mean, they were around. And more importantly, I have one. Don't ask what dirty things I had to do to get my hands on one of these, but the important part is I do have one. It's a pretty neat mechanism, actually. It's got that little plunger here that fires it and holds a 38 caliber cartridge there. So you just wear this on the back of your hand, like in a glove, and you just, as like a weird mixture of like Boba Fett and Mike Tyson, you just beam somebody in the back of the head with it. Ah, war. We make some wacky things. So if you'd like to see the video that we do on this, be sure to go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss it. I think we're going to be doing a video on this fairly soon, including some ballistic dummy heads. So that's going to be really fun. I'm going to love seeing that in slow-mo. While you're down there, click the notification bell. That way you'll get notified whenever we make new content. Because who would want to miss out on more cursed gun images? This one's actually straight off the Rock Island website. I saw somebody sent me this. Fleming Autoseer and Volmer FMP host gun. Basically, this is an HK-G3, but belt-fed. I don't know who looked at the G3 and thought, you know what? This absolutely needs to be a belt-fed machine gun, but you know what? Somebody did. And I guess we're all better for it. So funny story on this one, the reason I included it. One of the guys who designed this weapon, Volmer, his son actually used to go to my church growing up. So I remember he talked about how his dad developed this, and I thought it was crazy then. I think it's crazy now. At the same time, I still want to own one because of course I do. By the way, have any of you guys been playing Starfield? You know, the new game that's Fallout in space? You notice anything different about the old Earth hunting rifle? I noticed something odd about the old Earth hunting rifle. I think the only thing really cursed about it is that weird front attachment they did and the fact that they tried to give it AK furniture. That's makes me feel naughty. You ever try to mill out an AR-15 80% and have no idea what the fuck you're doing? This guy has. That fucking reply. I can save her. No, buddy. In my experience, you really can't. And now we have a special cursed gun image. This is a KUSA KP9. Also, so is this. This one was special because this wasn't actually user submitted. This one I found. I found this one in the wild when I was visiting family in Fayetteville. I don't know where to start, from the questionable, you know, receiver and barrel only camo choice, to the fully stippled magazine, to the overall just lack of gas tube. Don't fucking need that, I guess. To be fair, it's direct blowback. You really technically don't need that, but it's, I mean, you should fucking have it. To that handguard that's like not even really installed. Look at that fucking receiver, the gap there between the receiver and where the handguard really kind of starts. That should be sunk into the, that's not good. You might think I'm being an asshole and nitpicking this one a little bit. You might think that there's absolutely nothing wrong with this gun. It's, you know, a creative take on the KP9. And you know what? That's okay. This is the United States of America, and you have the freedom to be wrong. But really, I saw that on the shelf at a gun store, because of course when I'm visiting there, of course I'm gonna go see a gun store. I saw that and I couldn't not share it with you guys. But if that AK is not cursed enough for you, apparently we have an AK-47 that will actually keep you up at night. And it is... That's enough internet for me today. I've come to expect shit like that from You know, maybe Wendigoon's channel, maybe Meat Canyon, I don't know, not mine. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hate that. I really hate that. But you know what I love? I love being back in the studio and making content for you guys. It's been a while, I know, I'm sorry, but we have a whole list of fucking bangers coming out this month. Hope you like our political figure assassination recreation videos. We've got at least one, maybe two videos like that coming up here in the next 2 months. Darwin Awards on the way, that's always a banger, and we've got some really fucking cool range videos, like mentioned before, coming up for you guys fairly soon. So I'm excited for it. Be sure to make sure that you're still subscribed. And if you want to support the channel, you can always check out the links below for bunker branding and grab some cool, sweet Brandon Herrera merch. Anyhow, I appreciate your patience. Thank you for staying all the way to the end of the video. And as always, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
Fuel is my obsession to make the perfect weapon, like Rasputin's rise to the top.
It's gonna be alright, but not right now. That was just for you. You're welcome.